Yeah. All right.
Sir.
Hey, man, that beat's so dope, bro. That beat is so dope. Again, man, I go and get these beats from this website, man, and this one here goes out to Vire Beats, man. Vire Beats is the young brother, man, putting this stuff together, man. So I got to give credit where credit's due. So give it up for Vire Beats, man, for his creativity. Give it up. But that one there is fire, bro. That there is fire. What's up, Cowboy Nation, Cowboy Headquarters, and America's team? Here we are. Saturday Sit Down with your guy G, the number one Cowboy fan and football junkie. Give it up. Yeah, man. Yeah. All right. What's going on, football junkie? How you doing, brother?
Oh, I'm good. Yes, sir. Waiting for this upcoming NFL draft is just so interesting, man. This the real soap opera leading up to the real reality
Ooh-wee.
TV.
Yeah, man. We on the countdown. You see right there, draft day countdown, man. And what we're gonna
It's
try to do on that first round, we're gonna do like we always do each year, man, is try to go do live first round. We're gonna definitely do the first round, and we'll take it from there. We'll see where that goes from after the first round. But we're definitely gonna be here on the Cowboy Huddle podcast and watching the draft for the first round draft for and see what the Cowboys do. Give it up. And I think, man, that first pick is going to be something. That's going to be the telltale sign of what's going on, man, with our Cowboys. So I'm gonna let you, if you guys can see the title. The title says Tyler Warren from Penn State to the Cowboys. Now, I am not going to be the one that's going to bring this up today. Football junkie, he's been out there doing some research and he's been doing a bunch of outlooks and digging deep into the Cowboys draft situation. So we're going to give Football Junkie the opportunity to explain himself. So before I let everybody get started, let's get everybody familiar who Tyler Warren is. Tyler Warren is the tight end from Penn State. So yeah, he was a senior. He's entering into the draft this year. There's a lot going on with him. This guy is 6'5", 256 pounds. Again, college from Penn State from 2020 to 2024. He has some major accomplishments. He won the John Mackey Award 2024. He won the Big Ten Tight End of the Year in 2024. First team All-American in 2024. First team All Big Ten in 2024. Third team All Big Ten in 2023. Gee, that's saying a lot. So maybe you on to something right here. Now, this guy also basically he played in bowl games, the Peach Bowl in 2023, and he also played in the Fiesta Bowl in 2024. So with that, and also got the offensive MVP in that same time, what I just mentioned. So with that being said, Football Junkie, you might be on to something here. So you're saying that Tyler Warren could be our 12th pick in the first round?
Yes, sir. I really do feel like Tyler Warren is very acceptable at the 12th pick for the Dallas Cowboys. And reason why I'm saying this because if you look at the landscape of pro football and pretty much the history of pro football, your offense is not a good offense without a great tight end. And Tyler Warren has all the tangibles of being a great tight end. Uh, I had the opportunity to watch him this past season with Penn State. He really just jumped off the television screen this past season. He also jumped off the television screen last season. Uh, when you look at when you dive into Tyler Warren and you go back into the history of Tyler Warren was a quarterback coming out of high school. He was recruited as a quarterback coming out of high school, and he changed to tight end. You talking about a guy that's 6'5", 30 pounds coming out of high school as a quarterback. And you see his athletic ability from when he played quarterback tight end. And then you also, as a tight end, he knows as a former quarterback and going to tight end, he knows the whole route tree. He knows what's expected of a tight end or when it comes to blocking or pretending to block and releasing or being able to get in those soft zone spots for the help of a quarterback to be able to be short yardage receiver. Not only can he do those things, he can also stretch the field. He can not only just stretch the field, he can shrug off block tacklers and whatnot. This guy is a very physical specimen. If you go and watch his game highlight films, especially a lot of the catches he's caught, he done shrugged off, pushed off defenders and gotten at least an additional 10 or 15, maybe 20 yards or whatnot off of that catch. He's a yak player. He's a big time yak player when it comes to his productivity on as a receiver. He can line up wide. He can line up in the slot. Besides just being at tight end, he can line up in the backfield as a fullback. He can line up in the backfield as an offset running back. This guy is a real live Swiss Army knife at 6'5", 250 pounds. He's not slow at all. Dude can even still pass the football if you want him to. I mean, this
Yeah.
guy right here is out of control and understanding. Go
No,
ahead.
yeah. No, I agree with you, man. Like I say, I just gave you his accolades and everything, and share with everybody what he has done in the past couple of years, man, from Penn State. So yeah, he is a juggernaut type of athlete, man. That basically, if he makes it down to 12, he might make it down to 12, but it just depends on who actually needs a tight end slash receiver or a utility guy, like you said. It's a possibility he might not even be there at the 12 pick. But my question to you, man, again, I take nothing away from Tyler Warren. I mean, yeah, I've been watching. I mean, he was the guy. He was the glue. He was the piece that actually got Penn State over the hump throughout the whole year. Basically, he was the go-to guy. But again, I have to ask you this here, though, football junkie.
Okay.
What about Jake Ferguson? I mean, you got
Jake
Jake Ferguson.
Ferguson.
Wait. I know. I'm give me. I know you got. You know you got a rebuttal with that. I know you got to respond. But not only that, do we have Jake Ferguson? But we also have Luke Schoonmaker. We just drafted Luke Schoonmaker a year or so ago. So you're saying that you're going to put these guys on the back burner and bring in this Tyler Warren guy and leapfrog Jake Ferguson? I mean, how you gonna pull that off?
Okay. Well, with the Jay Ferguson situation, when you look at the tight ends in the NFL at the moment, and you look at the teams these tight ends are playing for, especially these high quality offensive teams in the NFL, and you just look at the landscape and all the teams that's made the playoffs. All these teams are highly effective in the playoffs. These teams that are going to the Super Bowls as well. They have tight ends that are elite tight ends. Can you compare Schoolmaker, Ferguson to these guys? No, you cannot compare them to these guys because these guys are exceptional talents. When you go look at Philadelphia in their tight end situation, when you look at Kansas City in their tight end situation, when you look at the Baltimore Ravens, when you look at the 49ers, uh, and so on and so forth, even the Green Bay Packers, when you look at them, you look at those teams and you look at their tight end productivity. Even the Houston Texans, we lost a tight end to the Houston Texans uh
Dalton Schultz.
last season. Dalton Schultz. Dalton Schultz was a better tight end than what we have at with the Cowboys right now. But when you look at those tight ends, man, those tight ends are elite tight ends that can make plays downfield. They can make the defense play more honest. Those tight ends draw more attention than a number two wide receiver. When you look at what they do productivity wise, they draw more attention than a number two wide receiver. So if them tight ends right there are drawing that type of attention Then more attention than a number two wide receiver. Guess what they're doing for a number two wide receiver? Making them more available to help a number one wide receiver. Does that that's basically what these elite prolific tight ends are doing. They
Right.
helping open up the passing game greatly. Not only are they helping open up the passing game, they're helping make it more possible for a running back to be able to drop out and cover and pass plays and whatnot. They're opening up the short yardage passing game, and they also make it possible for you can get able to open up the deep passing games and deep passing routes as well. When with these guys, man, these dudes make it more formidable for a quarterback like Dak Prescott. They make it more formidable for any type of quarterback. Because you look at Bryce Purdy, he lived off his tight end. Even though he had Debo Samuels and the other cats over there at wide receiver, look what they do. If they can't make it happen downfield, they're gonna look to their number two. Their number two option. Number two option is their tight end. That's
Yeah.
their number two option.
And
And then
that's
when
so
we
true. That's so true. And I have to say, one thing I can say about Kellen Moore when he was here, not only Kellen Moore, but Jason Garrett as well. The two of those two coaches, when they was here with the Cowboys, their number one receiver basically was the tight end. It was Jason Witten, and then it was
mhm,
Jake Ferguson when Kellen Moore took over.
Ferguson,
Now, with Mike McCarthy, we didn't see a lot of that. I have no idea what Mike McCarthy was doing in his office. I really don't know. I don't know if he was being told how to run his offense or what. But I think we did see the decline of Jake Ferguson when Mike McCarthy took over the offense. Now, to say that Jake Ferguson is not able to pull that off, I will have to beg to differ because we have seen Jake Ferguson in some big time plays. I have to put that with Jake Ferguson lack of production due to the Mike McCarthy system. But again, I take nothing away from Tyler Warren. Um, we can bring him in, but we don't know what Brian Schottenheimer what this offense is going to look like. Hopefully, he is one of those that use a tight end, or as basically the number two, because that's what we've done. We in the past we overlooked Michael Gallup, and it was CeeDee Lamb, and it was no matter of fact it was CeeDee Lamb, and it was Jake Ferguson. There was the number one and two receivers, and we overlooked Michael Gallup. You know what I mean? So we've seen that. So again,
right?
what does this look like for Brian Schottenheimer? But I take nothing away from Tyler Warren. The guy it definitely is a proven athlete that could definitely make a difference. But again, just my opinion. I don't know if they are willing to do that due to the fact that they got Luke Schoonmaker, and then they got Jake Ferguson. So somebody that I don't think they're going to cut Luke, and not even I don't think they'll cut Jake. But that is going to be something to see. So but I need interaction from everybody that's watching this video. And what do y'all think about football junkies? His comment. I mean, do y'all agree with it, that that's a possibility, or do you see it a different way? But I definitely need the input from the subscribers and all those that's watching, and what you think. Is it possible that we can bring in this guy? Because yeah, we can use him more than one way. I totally agree with you, football junkie. But it just depends if Jerry's that smart to pull it off. But that is a man, that is something to really think about. If Brian Schottenheimer is one of those coaches that leans real heavy on the tight end, and we already know, you and I both know, football junkie, Dak loves his tight ends. Dak
Yeah,
loves his tight ends. And if
yeah,
you're going to build this scheme around Dak, that means you're going to have to make sure you include your tight end, right?
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
So now that I say that, and we're talking about Dak Prescott's scheme, that's what I said, football junkie. I said Dak Prescott offensive scheme. I didn't say Joe Milton the third. I said Dak Prescott scheme. So you and I talked about the Joe Milton situation, and everybody seems that it's a
Right.
great fit, and everybody's saying, "Oh man, he's come to take Dak's job," and then we're still talking about a 6th round draft pick, and he had one great game, football junkie. Can we take one football game and say, "Whew, he's ready to take Dak position"? Can we say that, or what is your thought on that one?
Now, my thoughts on that situation and whatnot. It didn't. They Rome didn't build Troy in one day. And
That's
what I
right.
mean by that is one game don't make you famous. All right, one game don't make you an all pro. All right, and at the end of the day, when I dove into this one game scenario, Buffalo had 8 starters out in that game.
That's what I was trying to tell you. That's what I was saying. I said, I don't know. Would those numbers be the same if all the starters? And then, I talked about it, said because they was in contentions of a playoff run. So you wouldn't found that out, right? Huh?
Yeah, Buffalo had 8 starters out in that game, so he playing against relatively backups. Dudes, dudes on his but New England. Drake May was a damn good quarterback and whatnot. But at the end of the day, you playing against 8 backups. Eight. 8 out of 11 are backups.
Mm.
8. So, the whole secondary, majority of the linebackers and the defensive linemen.
Oh,
That's what you played your game against.
she.
The
Oh,
replacement.
snap. So
So
Jerry was out for the what he said, the headlines,
yeah, he went
and
out for the headline.
the headlines might not add up with the play of the quarterback that we're bringing in. We might see something different. We might see another Trey Lance.
Hey, uh far as another Trey Lance, I'm not something psychologically wrong with Trey Lance, man. I think the situation with the 49ers and being sitting behind Dak and uh our backup quarterback that we had at the time that went to Baltimore, uh
Cooper Rush.
Cooper Rush, man. I mean, do I think he was better than Cooper Rush? It's a possibility that he was better than Cooper Rush, but I mean, Cooper Rush had a leg up in the situation, being in the system for a few years already. But still, though, if you're hungry and you're a performing player, you're gonna make some people move around. You're gonna
Mm,
make some people move around,
yeah.
and you're gonna make your presence felt. I don't
Well,
care if you practice or not. You're gonna make your presence felt. And
yeah,
every opportunity that you get to be able to showcase your talent, you're gonna make it seen. You're gonna make it known, man.
yeah. Well, I think 49ers got that wrong. They actually got that wrong. I knew. Again, I always talk about this, football junkie. I have to look at the strength of the schedule, and he come from North Dakota State or something like that, and
Yeah,
oh, he threw for 5,000 yards, and he did. And I mean, we got to look at the level of competition. Okay, now you trying to put him again in a game against Michigan or Ohio State or Alabama. Does he still throw for 5,000 yards? So I'm just one of those that always into into the strength of the schedule. And I understand, and I don't want to get off the subject, but I see it same thing with Shante. What's his name? Shante Jenkins. What's his name?
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
I like him. I think he's a beast. We said that about Deuce Vaughn, but at the same time, Ashante, I looked at the strength of their schedule. They only played one Power Five team, and that was against Oregon. So again, he might could do something. But Emmitt Smith said it right now. He said, "No, we don't need to get him because we're not prepared to bring him here because we'll get him beat up because of the way
yeah,
we play the game." It depends, but it depends
yeah.
on Schottenheimer and how he sets this offense up. But back to Joe Milton. So with that being said, so Joe Milton could just continue to be a backup to another backup, which is
Yeah,
Will Greer.
yeah.
Wait a minute.
I mean, you
Hmm.
be honest with you, I thought Will Greer was better than what we had.
Yeah, but
I really
and
do.
maybe so, but the question is, man, is if that goes down, is what can Will see? That's what I'm tired of. Back all these backup quarterbacks that really haven't had the opportunity to be a starter somewhere, and it just that's why when you say what you said with Joe Milton, and now we realize that a lot of these starters were out. So my question again: do we go back and draft a quarterback in the second or third round? I mean,
You,
but
I mean, to be honest with you, man, I mean, to play, I would.
yeah, it's too many. It's
To
too
play
many.
it safe, I would.
Yeah, it's too many uncertainties, man. We don't know if Dak is going to go for 17 games. We really don't know what Joe Milton's going to bring. Again, we don't know. And when we don't know. But at the same time, at least if I can draft me a first round draft pick quarterback in the second or third round, or second round quarterback in the second or third round, that means he's there for a reason. His IQ is up here. There's a difference between, I always say this, a first round quarterback and a seventh round quarterback. And
Yeah,
that's how they're graded, their IQ. So if that were to go down, could Joe Milton take us to the promised land? And how can what do we
no,
base that off of? We base that off of one game. And now that sounds more like a setup to us now. Now you bring that up, and this could be a setup. Oh, now everybody's hyped up. Joe Milton's the guy. But what if Joe Milton's not the guy?
yeah, exactly, exactly. That's all smoke right there. But being that we on the subject of the factors of quarterback and going after somebody in the late, maybe second round, third round, that's where Jalen Milroe's become more interesting.
Well, that's yeah, and it's so true, and there's so many that's going to be out there. There's going to be so many
It's
because
gonna be so many.
Milroe, if it's who I'm looking at, Brady Cooks from Missouri, that guy, and my guy Seth Hennigan from Kentucky. Them two, those my two. But all those guys will be out there though, right? You're right, football junkie.
Yeah,
There's going to be
yeah,
guys out there. And if you were
yeah.
to fall
Those
back in
guys
the
out there.
first, say that again.
You're right. They're gonna be out there.
Yeah. And if we fall back in the first round to get two number twos, oh my gosh, we win.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
So
yeah,
yeah, man, I'm glad you brought that because you and I talked about that on the last a session, man. We talked about this Joe Milton, and we didn't know what the situation was when he had these put up these big numbers and everything. So now that you did your research, we know. But again, I'm still pulling for the brother. I'm pulling for him and hoping that he
I'm a
does
pull
well.
for him.
Yeah,
I'm a pull for him and everything like that. I wish the best for everybody to be successful at whatever their craft is at the end of the
yeah,
day. But if you subpar, you just gonna go sit at the bar.
yeah. And that might where he might end up sitting. But again, the uncertain still falls with Dak if he can make the 17 games. That's going to be the big question. But again, with this move that Jerry has made, I doubt very seriously that we go pick up a quarterback in those early rounds, bro, because this
Yeah,
was the big talk right here. Or maybe the fans made more of it than it is to where we still go get a quarterback. You
yeah,
know, it's
yeah,
going to be something to say. So, let's move on to this next topic. So, with that being said, we did sign a offensive lineman, man. So, looking like we're being really productive. I'm gonna say as far as bringing linemen in, we working on some things, man. So, we are bringing in Sadiq Charles. Sadiq Charles is one that we have brought in, and I've been getting mixed reviews with this kid, man. Basically, he's 6'4", 321 pounds. He played all 13 games for the Tigers, with 9 starts as a true freshman in 2017, and was named the Southeastern Conference All Freshman team. He started games at left tackles as a sophomore. What else he got? So yeah, this guy, yeah, let's see. Yeah, left tackle as a sophomore during his junior senior season. Charles was suspended for the entirety of the Tigers' non-conference schedule due to a violation of team rules, and it happens. It happens. I hate that it happened, but it does. But yeah, this guy here. Let me give you a little bit of information on him. So he was drafted by the Washington. Let me see. Let's go back. I think it was before Washington. What? No, it was Washington. He was drafted by Washington 2020. He played from 2020 to 2023. Then he was picked up by the Titans in 2024, which he retired all of a sudden, which they were saying that he was probably be a potential starter. And today he is now present with the Dallas Cowboys. What else he got? He career NFL statistics: 35 games played, 18 games started. So Sadiq Charles, what's your take on Sadiq Charles, my man?
My first question is why you walk away from football, bro?
Well, they said it was something mental. It was something mental that was, and that this allegedly. I don't know, man. We don't know, and I don't know, but this is what's being said out there. That he was having some issues or something. I don't know what type, if it was mental or if it's just something he was going through. But he just decided to retire, and there's nothing wrong with that because my son did the same thing, Kinfolk. My son did he was doing good. He just got to a point like, and I think what it is, people fail to realize what all goes into football, man.
Yeah, it's a lot going into football, man.
It's there's no time off. And then when you get cut, you have to go out there and you have to go work out again and hit the weights and get yourself together because now you're trying to keep a veteran free agent from taking your job, and now you're trying to keep a rookie from taking over your job. So there is a lot that goes on. So maybe it
Yeah.
was something like that. So just no, there's no time off, and sometimes they just hit a wall and say, that's it. But here he is. He signed with the Cowboys again. So I don't know why that was, but it happened. So he's with us. So what do you think about him being with the squad?
Well, from what I've seen, the little footages and whatever game to snaps and stuff like that that I've had the opportunity to check him out with, he's pretty solid, but on a scale of 1 to 10,
Right.
I probably give him about a 7.5, basically a B plus grading due to the fact that he's a solid pass blocker, but then when it comes to run blocking, he's not, giving too much of a push that is needed to be able to clear running lanes like he should for a running back. Uh, this guy might be one of those situations players where he can be tapped into by the right coaching. You know,
Yeah.
Coaching
Yeah.
makes a big difference too in a
Yeah.
player. So if the right coach, if Schottenheimer got the right offensive lineman that coach, the O line coach there, where he's able to be able to tap into this guy, it's a
Yeah.
good possibility that he can work out for us.
Yeah.
Along with what we already done brought in. I mean, the offensive line pretty much is basically almost totally revamped, man. And these ain't no small guys, so they evidently saying we supposed to push some folks. We want to push people around so we can run.
Yeah. Well, it's been told that Dak and one other player on the team are the two oldest players on the team. Dak and I can't think of something. I think the long snapper or somebody, but there's only like one or two that's basically the oldest on the team. So this team is still young.
Yeah,
Connor Riley out of Kansas State is our offensive line coach, and Clayton Adams, which he has a lot of experience at offensive line, he's actually going to be our offensive coordinator. And we saw what Clayton Adams did to us when we played the Cardinals a couple of years ago. I mean, dude. I mean, it was like that was a game we thought we was going to win, and they just ran the ball all over us, man. With the pull blocking and the cross blocking, the trap blocking. Oh, they was letting us have it. So again, I really think this is going to be a competition, man. On this offensive line, and I think Connor Riley said that. He said the best man wins the job.
yeah,
And I think this going to be with Sadiq Charles. I think that's going to be a definitely a competition between him and Hoffman.
yeah. Bryce
Bob
Hoffman. Yeah,
Hoffman. And Brock Hoffman, he's very tough, very tough. He brings attitude to the game, but at the same time, I see some things with him that he needs to work on as well. So we definitely have some, we definitely got some folks that we're gonna have to, pay attention to, man. So I mean, what do you think?
Yeah, we they put together a real live competitional situation for all the players that's going to be in practice. For the spring is coming up. We got what with OTAs is coming up. Everybody can get acclimated in that, especially after the draft. Then the second round of OTAs before they have to report to Oxnard. So yeah, I mean the competition is going to be real stiff. They're going to be have to fight their way out of the situation so that they can be able to get together and see who's going to be the glue that's going to mesh together to be have some type of semblance of mindset on who's going to be their starting five before they get into preseason. So these dudes going to be fighting tooth and nail, man, when it comes to being an Oxnard. Like yeah.
Yeah, well, and that's the reason I like, man. I'm about my chair about to come apart. God, dog. But you know what? That's one thing I like about training camp. And training camp ain't like it used to be, but just to see the technique of the players, to see the battles, because you got your offensive guard going against your defensive tackles and things like that. So that's definitely gonna be something to see, man. So yeah, again, I like competition. I like
Yeah.
when the game is open. You know what I mean? I
Oh yeah.
like shoot. But yeah, it's gonna be something to see, man. And you know, um, again, I like Sadiq Charles. I mean, he's getting a bad rap, but he's a fourth round draft pick. But again, man, we just have to see if he fits the system. I think we say that all the time too, football junkie. It depends on if that player fits the system. If you're
Exactly.
doing things that he come from, the type of school he come from, if you're doing those things that he's familiar with, he's more successful versus trying to teach him something new. Let's talk about Tyler Guyton.
Yeah.
Do you think this is going to, I mean, do you actually think that it's going to work that for him to work over at the left tackle, moving from the right tackle? Is it possible? I mean, or is he a natural right tackle?
Ooh, that's a good question, man.
Yeah.
That's a good question because ooh, it's possibly it might work better for him at right tackle because he was struggling at left tackle, man. He because they put a lot of premier pass rushers in front of him, and he had a lot of trouble. He had a lot
Yeah.
of trouble. So I mean, you take the pressure off of him, then see how he performs with lesser pressure. Then hey, here too. Teams might just say we're gonna just shift our best defensive lineman pass rusher and put him over him, and take advantage of the situation that he can't handle the pressure. You know, they say pressure bust a pipe. Okay. So I mean, all they can really do is just see if he fits that mold at right tackle versus how he performed at left tackle. We only can see what lies ahead for him on the road ahead when it comes to him being able to play the right tackle position versus him having the situations he had at left tackle. So that's just going to be a situation where he's going to have to really just step up and be a better football player at. But I will say this though, far as Tyler Guyton playing right tackle as well. I mean, if we match him up with the right left the right guard, I believe that it could be some success. It really could. It possibly could be some success for him at right tackle. It's just all about the team schematical approach that they're going to have, or as the run game is concerning, passing game is concerning, how they really want to approach that. Because everybody's passing game pretty much is that's the blocking all the way across the board from high school to pros is pretty much the same. It's just your technique get better. So
Exactly.
uh, when it comes to the run blocking situation and stuff like that, I mean We only going to be that's where our biggest ailment is run blocking. Are
Yeah,
we going to be able to get these boys 5 and 6, 7 yards down the field where they're going to be able to hustle 5, 6 yards, 7 yards down the field to be able to do what they need to do? Because really, the most work for an offensive lineman in the run game is right there in that 5 yard box.
yep, that's
Unless
right.
unless they doing some stretch draw plays where they got to really just hustle to the outside perimeter to make
Right.
sure to set the edge for the running back, so the defense won't be able to set the edge of containment against the offense. So I mean, guys got to have some wheels up on them, and just to fall back on what you said last year, uh, they need to come back from Oxnard back to Texas so we can go ahead and condition these boys. Feet on them. Go and condition these boys. I do believe they need to be back in Texas instead of over there in Cupcake Land.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. All that. Oh man, I'm gonna tell you, cause it's so beautiful in Oxnard. You don't even sweat over there, bro. It's come on, man. I understand what we're trying to do, man, but at the same time, dude, we got to do better than you know. I remember at Midwestern up there, and out there in the 102-degree weather. But that's too much. That's too harsh for the players today, man. It's too harsh. But we
Man,
need
look,
to
they
get back
need
to that.
that. Don't
And then
the conditioning.
yeah, and then when we get here, and we're gonna wrap this up. But then when we get here, what we do, we practice indoors. And I've noticed the
Ah,
difference between the Oxnard and the Frisco. Now your home base is here in Frisco. You do less in Frisco than what you do up in Oxnard. And I'm the one to can attest to that. I've been to both. But you guys come back home to Frisco and y'all practice. Y'all give us 1 or 2 days of OTAs and then you're done with it. But up there you get a whole week up there in Oxnard. I mean, come on, man. We're the fans. This is home right here. But we're shortchanged. But anyway, it is what it is. But yeah, we need to change all that stuff up. But we'll see what Brian Schottenheimer does, man. It's gonna be something to see, brother. So, but hey, again, y'all, we need y'all engagement on this. Everybody's watching this. We want a football junkie to bring this to us. That's why he's here today again, bringing what's on his mind. So again, y'all chime in the comments and let us know what you think about these topics that we brought up today. Simply because we're getting closer and closer to draft day, and it's getting from there. We get ready to voluntary OTAs and then mandatory OTAs in training camp, and we got something going for Ball Junkies. So again, everybody that's watching this video, please comment down below because we want to know your thoughts and your takes on this as well. But again, before we get out of here, I want to say thanks to all our subscribers and all those that follow us, because without you guys, we would not be here and where we are today. But we appreciate you guys, your time and your commitment to the football, the Cowboy Huddle podcast. Brother, you got any last word before we get out of here?
man, I'm just waiting and anticipating, man, on what's up the road for us. Uh,
Yeah.
from what I understand, for as the roster's concerned, Cowboys only got space for draft picks and unfree agent draft picks. That's all they got space for. What they draft and unfree agents, unsigned free agents.
Well, they better do something with Micah. Micah's still not signed yet, right?
No, it's not signed yet.
Oh well.
Might possibly around be a draft day trade. Ain't afraid of that.
Well, we'll see. Well, like I say,
I
that
am
was
not
Jimmy
afraid.
Johnson's
I'm
doing.
not afraid of that.
Jerry Jones not that smart. I mean, he could pull it off, but he wouldn't be able to get the players like Jimmy Johnson. Jimmy Johnson pulled that off last time, so I don't think if Jerry Jones even tried to pull it out, he would monk that up so bad. So sign the man and extend the money so you can bring some other players in here. But anyway, that's another here or
Yeah,
there, brother. Football Junk again, man. I appreciate this. Is what we're gonna start doing on the weekends, man. Football Junk gonna be here to co-hosting with me. So, yeah, we appreciate y'all, man. And Football Junkie, thank you for everything that's on your mind, man. And shoot, we're gonna sit back and see what the subscribers and all those that's watch this video see what they got to say about our topics today. What you think?
oh yeah,
All right, that's
yeah.
what's up.
Let's see what's going down.
Yeah. All right, y'all. With that being said, like I always say, continue to stay safe and continue to be blessed. Deuces. We're out.